Good morning everyone. My name is Ruskin and I am a student of English literature. Today I am going to present on the topic listening skills from the story The Boy Who Broke the Bank by Ruskin Bond. Next. These are the personal information. Next. Table of contents, in which I am going to deal with introduction, then about the author, characters, story of The Boy Who Broke the Bank by Ruskin Bond, what is listening skills, type of listening skills, listening versus hearing, listening from the story, and conclusion and references. Next. Introduction. Listening is a facility that most living beings possess. Many students are unable to listen to teachers in college classrooms, to colleagues and employees at workplaces. The story The Boy Who Broke the Bank by Ruskin Bond highlights the power of humor and the chaos they can cause in a community. Through the lens of a small town and its bank, Bond explores human reactions to uncertainty and the domino effect of a single piece of unverified information. Listening skills play a crucial role in our communication and understanding of the world around us. Next. About the author. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992, Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. Bond's work reflects his Anglo-Indian experiences and the changing political, social and cultural aspects of India, having been through colonial, post-colonial and post-independence phases of India. Next. Characters. Nathu. Nathu is the protagonist of the story. He is a sweeper by profession and works in the People-Nagar Bank. Second is Sitaram. Sitaram is the son of a washerman. He plays a significant role in the story. Nathu and Sitaram are friends. Then Mrs. Srivastava, Mrs. Bhushan, Mr. Bhushan, Kamal Kishore, Deep Chand and all Gankar. All of them are villagers of People-Nagar. And fourth is Seth Govindram. He is the owner of the People-Nagar Bank. Next. Story of the Boy Who Broke the Bank by Ruskin Bond. There are some differences between this video and real text. First, in video, the bank is refusing to pay 5 rupees a month, while in the real text, it refusing to pay 2 rupees a month. Characters like Mrs. Prakash is Mrs. Srivastava, Jugal Kishore is Kamal Kishore, and Faiz Hussain is Deep Chand.
The Boy Who Broke the Bank by Ruskin Bond. Nathu was sweeping the steps of a small local bank owned by Seth Govindram. Sitaram, the washerman's son, passed by. Sitaram asked Nathu, "Are they still refusing to pay you another 5 rupees a month? I haven't received my pay for 2 months. As soon as I get my money, I'm off," complained Nathu, and banged the pan against the dustbin several times. When Sitaram overheard Mrs. Prakash saying how difficult it was to get someone to sweep the courtyard, he said, "I know a sweeper boy who's with Seth Govindram's bank, but they aren't giving him his pay and he wants to leave." Soon after, Mrs. Prakash met Mrs. Bhushan at a bazaar under a large shady tamarind tree that grew near the clock tower. "Do you know," Mrs. Prakash said, "that Seth Govindram's bank can't pay its employees? Their sweeper boy hasn't received his pay for 2 months." When Mrs. Bhushan found her husband in Jugal Kishore's shop, she cried, "Seth Govindram's bank is going bankrupt. No salary for over 3 months." Overhearing this, Mr. Kishore called out to the barber next door, "Faiz Hussain, Seth Govindram's bank is about to collapse. You'd better take your money out." Faiz Hussain was startled and nicked his customer's ear. The customer distressed by the awful news, leaped out of his chair and sped to a telephone, with one side of his neck still unshorn. He dialed Seth Govindram's number, but his Seth wasn't there. The Seth was holidaying in Kashmir. He hurried back and told Faiz Hussain, "The bird has flown. I'll have the rest of my haircut another time." He immediately made a beeline for his office and checkbook. The news of imminent crash of the bank and the flight of the Seth spread like a forest fire. Someone who knew a clerk in the bank decided to get the facts. Half the town is trying to take their money out. "Everyone seems to have gone mad," said the clerk. "There's a rumor that none of you has been paid." "No, just some payments are delayed because the clerk who looks after payments is on leave," said the clerk. The manager tried to calm the angry customers gathered outside. He said they could withdraw their money the next morning. "We want it now," chanted the people. "Now, now, now!" A few stones were thrown, a brick was hurled, a window smashed. Then the police arrived and pushed the crowd back. Gradually, everyone dispersed. Seeing broken glass and stones cluttering the steps, the next morning Nathu cried, "Gundas! Hooligans! May they suffer from 1,000 ills. It was bad enough being paid irregularly. Now I must suffer an increase of work. The bank's gone bankrupt. Demand your money. You'll be lucky if you get it," said Sitaram. Who would have thought the bank would collapse? Nathu looked thoughtfully across the street. "I wonder how it could have happened."
Next. What is listening skill? Listening is a fundamental aspect of human communication, often described by famous authors, dictionaries, and universities as a skill of paramount importance. Various definitions shed light on its multifaceted nature. Definitions are: the Oxford English Dictionary defines listening as the action of paying attention to sound, particularly through auditory perception. This definition highlights the sensory aspect of listening, emphasizes the act of receiving and processing sounds. Second, as per Merriam-Webster, listening means to hear something with thoughtful attention. Renowned author Stephen R. Covey emphasizes the significance of empathetical listening in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He defines it as speaking first to understand and then to understood. Next. Harvard University, a bastion of education, views listening as a core skill. It defines listening as the ability to receive, interpret, and respond to verbal and non-verbal messages. In essence, listening is the art of actively receiving, interpreting, and responding to communication. Listening skills involve more than just hearing. They encompass understanding, empathy, and effective communication. Next. Types of listening skills. There are several types of listening skills, including active listening, reflective, empathetical, critical, appreciative, discriminative, informational, and therapeutic. Next. Listening versus hearing. Listening and hearing are two distinct processes related to our perception of sound. Here are some key points difference the two. Hearing is a passive physiological process that involves the reception of sound waves by the ear and the transmission of these signals to the brain. While listening, on the other hand, is an active cognitive process that involves making sense of those sound waves. Listening is an active involvement in the communication process. It often involves responding, asking questions, and providing feedback, whereas hearing can be a passive activity. Fourth is listening considers the context of the communication. including non-verbal cues, tone of voice, and body language, to grasp the full meaning of the message. Hearing does not involve this level of interpretation. And last is listening often involves providing feedback either verbally or non-verbally, to the speaker. And in hearing, this feedback loop is absent. Next. Listening skills from the story. Sweeper boy's salary issue. The sweeper boy in the story needs to get his salary, but the manager does not care about the boy and his difficulties. On the other hand, washerman's boy, Sitaram, listens to his friend and he understands the sweeper boy's difficulties, empathizes with him, and actually start looking for another job for his friend. Mrs. Srivastava develops her own mistaken understanding of the boy's intention to leave the bank. She casually shares her knowledge with her friend, who in turn tells her husband, and thus the rumor of the collapse of the bank spreads like wildfire. Thus, the manager's inability to listen with empathy to sweeper boy brings down the bank. There is unnecessary chaos leading to a law and order problem in the town. Next. In conclusion, listening skills are super important. When we listen well, it helps us in our relationship, at work, and in school or college. In college, good listening helps us learn better. Even doctor need to understand what is wrong with patient. So remember, listening is not just hearing words. It's about truly understanding what someone is saying, and that is a skill worth having. Next. These are the references. Next. Next. Thank you for listening.